Brian's been helping clients now for 20 years, and I'm sure that when people come to you, one of the first questions is probably, how do I form my company and what choices do I have, and what do you usually tell them?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's several business entities that you could form, but the most often chosen and usually the best is going to be the LLC, limited liability company, and they came about in the 80s and became very popular, and they have the same limited liability protection as a corporation does, but a lot more flexibility in how you can set them up, how you can establish relations among the partners as far as financial rights and voting rights and that sort of thing. So it's kind of become the preferred legal entity to use now. And with corporations, I mean, we still have people that want to do corporations sometimes. I mean, and then sometimes, C corps, particularly if they were wanting to do an IPO later on and that sort of thing, and be traded on the stock exchanges, that sort of thing. But usually those are bigger companies, and then you have S corps, which you can even have an LLC that's taxed as an S corp, so you can still use the LLC framework and just change the way it's taxed.
Do you ever involve CPAs in these distinctions?
Yes, I do. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll contact the accountant after the meeting with the client and just make sure that we're on the same page. Sometimes the client doesn't realize that their accountant's already filed a S-election, like say if they have an existing entity, and we're talking about doing some changes. Well, I want to make sure that the accountant hasn't done something that the client wasn't aware of, because they just forgot. They don't realize that, because sometimes they don't realize that their accountant, how they're filing their taxes.
Right.
So I do like to make sure that the accountant and I are on the same page before I do anything.